of digestion, you will know what an esophagus is. There will be no need for such problems. So why do we even need to understand what happens when we eat some food like Gobe? It helps us to understand our digestive system, right? It helps us to optimize our nutrition. It helps us to manage digestive conditions. It helps conditions like acid reflux. If you understand your digestion, you know what to do. It will help us to make better food choices. We will recognize symptoms when we have them. We can even develop technical interventions. I'm an engineer, so I'm always looking for ways of solving problems, right? We can develop technical interventions when we understand the condition. And of course, we can avoid embarrassment by saying all kinds of terrible things about our esophagus. So this is why we need to do things like this. All right, so now back to the problem. So Gobe is supposed to be the nickname of a popular meal among students and some members of the public in Ghana. It consists of mainly beans, palm oil, and gari. Those who don't know gari, this is it. Okay? It's a fine to coarse granular flour of varying texture made from root tubers of cassava. Contestants were to describe the processes undergone by the meal, the enzyme action, and the movement through the digestive system from the time of ingestion up to when it leaves the stomach. Okay, so this is the answer that was expected. In the mouth, first point, starch in the gari is digested by salivary amylase, also known as taurine or diastase, into maltose. And in all of this, I have keywords that I'm looking for, right? So the enzyme, and then also the end result, which is the maltose. All right. Next, the food is chewed, mixed, rolled into boluses by the teeth and tongue. And then third, by peristalsis, it passes through the mighty esophagus and enters the stomach via the cardiac sphincter. So that's what happens in the mouth all the way up to stomach. Now in the stomach, gastric juice containing pepsinogen is activated to pepsin, which digests the proteins in the beans into shorter peptides. The food is churned and allowed into the duodenum via the pyloric sphincter muscle. That is it. Again, I have keywords, pepsinogen to pepsin for digestion of proteins, and then I have churning of food, and then movement into duodenum, and then the pyloric sphincter. Okay, so the mark allocation. If you were following me, there were 5 main points. So each of those points is worth 2. All right, so 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, giving a total of 10 points. Now contestants. Let's start with Infantsipim School. For the first part in the mouth, Infantsipim School talks about the enzyme, salivary amylase, that goes to the maltose. I'm going to give them 2 points for that. By the way, there was a problem with Infantsipim School. Both of them decided to write at the same time, and they seem to be answering the same questions at the same time. So if you actually try to read the thing, it doesn't make complete sense. They were expecting me to go through some path, then come back and read some other path, and hope that I can piece all of that together to make sense. That's not my responsibility. Okay? At least I recognize that. I'm giving them 2 points for that. I didn't hear anything about the boluses. I didn't see anything about boluses and what the teeth and tongue were doing. I'm not giving them anything for that. And then, yes, they do mention the peristalsis to move to the stomach. I'll give them 1 point. I'll give them 1 point for that because it was not complete. They only mentioned the peristalsis and not the cardiac sphincter and all that was going on there. Then the rest of it, to be honest, I was confused. I was confused. In fact, they went beyond the stomach and were even talking about the small intestine. Not part of the question. So the best I can do for you in Fancy Film School, 3 points. Keta, I'm giving you the 2 points for the mouth, the digestive enzymes, and the conversion to maltose. I'm giving you 2 points for that. I didn't see you talking about boluses or anything of the sort, and the mechanical things that take place to move. So I am not giving you any points for that. I'm giving you 1 point for the peristalsis. It was incomplete. You didn't mention the cardiac sphincter. It was just car. So unfortunately, I can only give you partial credit, 1 out of 2 for that. Then in the stomach, you do mention pepsin for digestion of proteins, but you didn't talk about pepsinogen at all, right? Okay. So I can only give you partial credit for that one as well, and then that was about the end of it. I didn't see anything else. That gives you 4 out of 10. St. Augustine's College, you did talk about starting the digestive process with the enzyme in the mouth. However, I didn't see the end result of that. I didn't see maltose. It's one of my key words there. So I'll give you partial credit for that. Then the food is chewed. Yes, you did talk about bolus, movement of bolus and all that. You get 2 points for that. And then you did talk about peristalsis, but you were talking about the pyloric sphincter already at that point, not the cardiac sphincter. So 1 out of 2 for that. And then in the stomach, you talk about pepsin, but that's about it. So I give you 1 more point, partial credit for that one, and that gives you a total of 5 out of 10. That's the end of the problem of the day and the end of round 3. So, people, next time you eat Gobe, think about how that Gobe is going to go through your system. Substitution. Opo, it's been a pleasure having you. All the best to you. And in comes Nana Benyi. you ready? Round 4. This is the Gobe true or false round. At stake in the round is the Gobe money transfer $20 promo. During this National Science and Math quiz season, whenever alumni abroad send money to Ghana using their school's exclusive promo code, Gobe rewards the school with $20 for developmental projects in the school. For this particular contest, Keta Senior High Technical School's promo code is Keta School. Infansipin Schools is Boche, and St. Augustine's College is Augusco. The True or False round is proudly sponsored by Gobe Money Transfer. Meet a need, send via Gobe. So over to you, alumni. Send the money for developmental projects in the schools. All right, so round 4. In this round, I'm going to be presenting you with statements. When you receive a statement, please consider it carefully and do let me know whether it's true or false. If you are right, 2 points. If you are incorrect, you lose a precious point. You may choose not to respond, in which case that statement is available to the 2 remaining schools. A school may ring and attempt an answer. If right, 2 full points. If it's incorrect, there is a penalty. Best wishes. Wow. Every once in a while, we may have statements that require 30 seconds of time. When the occasion arises, or if the occasion arises, I will let you know. Otherwise, it's the usual 10 seconds of time. Best wishes, everyone. I'm going to start with a preamble to all schools, after which I'll come to you, St. Augustine's College. Preamble to all schools. A student investigating the location dependence of the period of a pendulum composed of a string and a lead ball accumulates several sets of period measurements at various locations. I hope you got your preamble. One more time. A student investigating the location dependence of the period of a pendulum composed of a string and a lead ball accumulates several sets of period measurements at various locations. Now, St. Augustine's. The student must find the average of all measurements to obtain the best period result. Yes, Alexander?
True.
No, it's a false statement. With the same preamble, Keta, for the best results, the student must ensure the pendulum oscillates with the same amplitude in all measurements at a location and across all locations. Frederick?
False.
No. It's a true statement. Infansipin School with the same preamble. For the best results, the student must ensure the same conditions of temperature and pressure across all locations. Peter?
False.
No. It's a true statement. For this next set, I'm giving you 30 seconds of time, and I have a short preamble to all schools. Preamble. A triangle has sides of length A, B, and C. That's all. I hope you got it. All right. St. Augustine's, if A equals 5, B equals 7, and C equals 9, the triangle is acute. Alexander.
False.
You're right. With the same preamble, Keta, if A equals 10, B equals 12, and C equals 15, the triangle is obtuse. Yes, Frederick?
It's false.
Yes. With the same preamble, if A equals 14, B equals 15, and C equals 21, the triangle is acute. Peter?
False.
You're right. Greenhouse gases strongly absorb and emit ultraviolet radiations, contributing to the greenhouse effect and global warming. Alexander?
True.
No, that's a false statement. Keta, a molecule of methane is a more effective greenhouse gas than a molecule of carbon dioxide due to methane having a higher global warming potential. Perpetual. Frederick.
It's true. True.
Yes. In Fansipim School, water vapor is a major greenhouse gas and plays a significant role in trapping heat in the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect. Peter?
True.
Yes. Terrestrial carbon sequestration is the process through which CO2 from the atmosphere is collected by trees and plants during photosynthesis and stored as carbon in soils and biomass. Nana Benyi?
True.
Yes. Carbon dioxide can be stored in a variety of locations, including oil and gas deposits, non-mineable coal seams, saline formations, and shale formations with significant organic content. Yes, Perpetual.
It's true.
Yes. Depending on their characteristics and local circumstances, forests can play different roles in the carbon cycle, from net emitters to net sinks of carbon. Peter?
True.
Yes. Next set of statements. Preamble to all schools. Preamble. P, Q, and R are simple statements. If P is false, Q is true, and R is false, then the given compound statement is true. Did you get your preamble? Okay. P, Q, and R are simple statements. If P is false, Q is true, and R is false, then the given compound statement is true. St. Augustine's, P implies Q or R. Yes, Alexander?
True.
Yes. P implies Q and R. Yes, Frederick?
It's false.
Yes. With the same preamble, P or Q implies R. Yes, Peter?
False.
Yes. At high altitudes, atmospheric pressure is low and water boils at a temperature higher than 100 degrees Celsius. Nana Benyi?
False.
Yes. The vapor pressure of a liquid increases linearly with temperature. Perpetual.
It's false.
Yes. The vapor pressure of a liquid depends on the temperature and surface area of the liquid. Peter.
False.
Yes. Preamble to all schools. Preamble. Indicates whether the given statement is true or false with respect to the plasma membrane. I hope you got it. Indicate whether the given statement is true or false with respect to the plasma membrane. St. Augustine's, the tails of the phospholipid molecules in the plasma membrane are made of fatty acid chains. Alexander?
True.
Yes. Hydrophilic molecules cannot easily pass through the cell membrane because they are repelled by the hydrophobic outside of the membrane. Perpetual?
It's false.
Yes. It consists of both lipids and proteins, and the fundamental structure of the membranes is a lipid bilayer, which forms a stable barrier between two aqueous compartments, separating cytoplasm and extracellular environment. Peter?
True.
Yes. Last set of statements for the round. St. Augustine's. When two incandescent lamps illuminate the same patch on a screen, the intensity of light on the patch is a linear superposition of the light intensities produced there by each lamp separately. Alexander.
False.
No. It's a mistake. Keta. If a laser beam is split into two by a 50-50 beam splitter, and the two beams are recombined a short distance from the beam splitter, the intensity of the resulting beam is a linear superposition of the intensities of the component beams. Frederick?
True.
It's a false statement. Infant Supreme School, last statement. Two identical cavities, each emitting thermal radiation from a small hole, are maintained at the same temperature. When the radiation from one cavity is combined with radiation from the other, the resulting radiation intensity is a linear superposition of the intensities from the individual cavities. Peter?
False.
Oh no. It appears that our contestants are still having trouble with the principle of linear and non-linear superposition. Please, there is a huge difference, and I expect you to go and read up on this concept. That's the end of the fourth round. at the end of the fourth round. Keta Senior High Technical School has 26 points. Infant Sipim School has 44 points. St. Augustine's College has 46 points. Now, before we move to the fifth round, we have the presentation of a brand new trophy. Contestants, have you seen the trophy? This is why we are here. I hope the presence of the trophy energizes you in the fifth and final round of competition. All right, so round 5. This is the round for the Gobe Super Bonanza. Let me remind you. If you solve all 4 riddles, you get 4,000 Ghana cedis. If you solve 3 out of the 4, you get 3,200 Ghana cedis. If you solve 2, you get 2,000 Ghana cedis. And if you solve even 1, you get 1,000 Ghana cedis. The Gobe Super Bonanza is proudly sponsored 2,000 Ghana cedis. And if you solve even 1, you get 1,000 Ghana